Ted, a movie that was all the rage back in 2012. The characters, the humor, and the story slapped. Everything about this movie blew my mind back in the day, and I would try to catch it every time the movie played on Showtime when TV was still a thing. And a lot of other people seem to really like it too, including Japan for some reason, leading to it earning over $500 million at the box office and becoming one of the most successful movies of 2012. But with something that captivated audiences like Ted did, you're going to have the haters. People who feel like you stole their thunder and spend all their time suing you in the court of law instead of actually doing something with their lives. This no joke happened to Seth MacFarlane regarding the Ted franchise. So today I want to cover one of the dumbest lawsuits in Hollywood history and just laugh at it. This is the time that Ted got sued, bro. Huh? Created by Mango Bango Productions, Charlie the Abusive Teddy Bear was a web series that originally made its debut on YouTube back in 2009, 3 years before 2012's Ted. Instead of a very well-animated true-to-life teddy bear, we have this ginormous puppeted teddy bear that comes off as really creepy to me for some reason. And I'ma keep it real. The show is trash! Charlie, this dollar store Ted before Ted, is very unlikable, and the jokes are just dry and unfunny with this show. While the comedy in Ted was the highlight of the movie, Charlie's comedy is one of the weakest aspects. I swear, bro, I took the time to watch this series multiple times and I did not laugh once. It's so one note that I'm literally going to just speedrun my thoughts on each of the 6 episodes so I don't have to waste your guys' time on this. Charlie gets a job. Charlie pistol whips some bloke who can't pay back money for drugs, all while yelling obscenities at his bloody mother. Jokes don't land, just makes Charlie unlikable. Charlie gets advice. Charlie gets advice not to go to rehab for alcohol abuse from some bloke named Closet Steve. Okay, I'll stop using the British accent, guys. I'm sorry. The whole joke is that the advice he gets is bad, but it's treated like good advice, which is not that funny. Charlie has the talk. Just an episode full of sex shows with no real substance. The laugh track gets really unbearable in this episode. See what I did there, guys? Actually, did I mention that there was a laugh track for every episode in this series? Cause I hate it when these fake sitcom shows add one to make fun of it because we know it's annoying, but you're literally doing the same thing, so it's also annoying and not funny. Shut up! Charlie's peas. In this episode, Charlie literally does a Jeffrey from SML and flips his plate full of peas, making this poor girl cry in the process. He also threatens to burn her to death for no real reason. It's just like, why? Like, for real, the show just feels so try-hard with the comedy, trying to say the most effed up things it can think of and thinks you'll laugh, but the jokes have no substance, so it just comes off as not funny. Charlie kills a hook? In this episode, Charlie literally does what the title says, just cause she wasn't getting down with what he was putting down. And at the end of the episode, Closet Steve helps Charlie bury her with a line that implies he has done this multiple times. I don't care if she died from a can of beef to the face. He still inflicted harm on her intentionally, knowing it would KO her. Like, bro is just evil. And finally, Charlie loses it on set. This is probably the worst video in the series, and where Charlie gets really verbally abusive and unlikable. It basically goes for meta comedy, with Charlie cursing out the camera crew filming a show just cause one of the film crew guys was in a shot for 5 seconds. Like, dude, just get a reshot or key him out in post or something. He continually threatens him for a very non-important reason, and it just makes the whole video unfunny and makes Charlie really unlikable. And that was every episode of this dog shit series. What I took away from this series while watching is just the sheer differences between Ted and Charlie. The lawsuit, that I'll get to in a second, claims that Ted stole from Charlie, but other than the fact that they're both edgy teddy bears who both are washed up celebrities, their characters are very different. The thing that sets these two apart is how Ted can be vulgar and crude, but is an actual likable character, and you can tell how deeply he cares about John and his relationship with Griffin throughout the movie. Even though their relationship conflicts with Ted and John's friendship, he still wants John to succeed.
You know something? I didn't tie you up and drag you to that party. All right, I wanted you to come because you're supposedly my best friend.
You can't stand there and tell me you haven't always seen Laurie as a threat to our friendship. I mean, it works out so much better for you when you and I are getting fucked up on the couch at 9 a.m., doesn't it?
Listen to yourself. What am I, Emperor Ming here, controlling your mind? That's your choice, John. And you know, by blaming me, you're just making yourself look like a pussy.
What would Charlie have done? He would have killed the bitch. Charlie's just edgy with no soul and treats everyone around him like crap constantly. He has zero empathy for people, which makes him super unlikable with no redeeming qualities. And that might have been forgivable if he was actually funny, but Charlie's very one note and has almost no personality other than being a character on Jersey Shore. And you might be wondering at this point, how did Seth MacFarlane get sued over this garbage? Due to the mediocre numbers of the series on YouTube, Mangle Bangle Jangle Productions stopped making Charlie episodes and quit their entire channel only a year into its run. So they must have been pretty salty to see Charlie's same concept done years later. How could the Family Guy man make basically the same thing we did with lots more success, Lewis? And in 2014, Mangle Productions sued Seth MacFarlane, citing instances of plagiarism and that Ted took heavy inspiration from Charlie. The legal doc alone is so ridiculous, so I'll link it if you want to have a good laugh, but to summarize, the document mostly accused MacFarlane of stealing jokes from Charlie, even citing timestamps from old Charlie episodes and the Ted movie where this infringement happens. And if that wasn't bad enough, they even had a whole segment of the document dedicated to comparing tweets from the Charlie and Ted Twitter accounts for having similar jokes in that they're both teddy bears but say edgy things. Now, I have to take a step back and say that I, of course, am not a lawyer. I'm a blue boy who makes reviews on niche internet stuff that hardly no one remembers. Also, if you made it this far and you like what you see, please like and subscribe. But even I, someone who doesn't have a high IQ, can see that the arguments being presented here are out of this world. Comparing tweets for the Ted and Charlie Twitter accounts to show how somehow Seth MacFarlane is stealing their tweets is just really absurd and funny to me. Also, this goes without saying, but taking innocent looking characters and making them edgy isn't anything new, not for Ted or for Charlie. The concept of cutesy characters being crude and edgy has been around for decades. I mean, it's why South Park exists, and there's already tons of instances of teddy bears being edgy. Look at Naughty Bear, that old Xbox 360 game where you kill your fellow teddy bear friends. This webcomic that Seth MacFarlane also got accused of copying. Jeez, man. Seth MacFarlane has been working on this concept since the 90s. It's not anything new. Stop thinking you're the Fortnite OG. But if I'm being real, it just kind of makes me sad just from the sheer lack of self-awareness from the people behind Charlie. If we look back at the content they were making other than Charlie videos, they were also mainly just skits that were also very try-hard and came off as shock value with no substance. In one of the most cancer-filled videos I have ever seen, this lady has this dumb mini Charlie teddy bear bite her finger, and it's like, what is the joke? What's even funnier is that half of the comments on this video are rightfully calling this video out for being very, dare I say, cringe, and the other half are just Sims talking about how hot this lady is.
We do not care.
And in response to a lot of the hate, they just removed comments and the like and dislike counts on the videos. I guess someone's embarrassed. And the criticism for them as a company got even more worse when the lawsuit became public. It's hard to see it now, knowing that the majority of people have forgotten about this controversy entirely, but every major mainstream media network was making an article about it at the time. And this course online was honestly pretty scarce. There wasn't any videos I could find covering this topic, but on the articles that I did find, I did see some comments that shared pretty much the same opinions as me. Mainly that Ted didn't do anything new and neither did Charlie. Considering he got accused of ripping off some comic, and there are so many similar characters in other works, I'm just going to say that a cutesy character acting crude is something of a cliche at this point, and when you have similar characters, you're likely going to get a similar dialogue and stories. Facts. Thank you, Mermaid Warrior from Cartoon Brew site from 10 years ago. I mean, have you seen that clip where Porky Pig says bitch? Now that was in the 1930s. That's the OG right there. But with all wars, they eventually have to end, and the war ended with Mangle Productions quitting the lawsuit. A few months before the release of Ted 2 in 2015, Mangle Productions withdrew from the lawsuit, which in English basically means they quit, and they put out a statement that was like, you know, Seth, we've been fighting with you and your corporate overlords for about a year now, and you know, I think you didn't actually copy Ted. We might have been a little bit triggered when we first saw Ted, but now that we actually did that Google search, we found evidence that you actually didn't copy Ted. You actually did use creativity and all that good jazz. Okay, bye. And with that, the lawsuit just ended. The lawsuit didn't even last beyond 1 year. Did Seth MacFarlane bribe them or something? Ted 2 came out months later and disappointed the masses, but you know, that's mostly been redeemed. Mostly. Today, Charlie stands as one of the most forgotten web series. My fear is that since Charlie been out of the spotlight for years, Mangle Productions wanted to build hype and drive traffic to their channel for this controversy. And I can't really say that that worked. I mean, if anything, it pretty much tainted the reputation of the production company and a web series that was already pretty unknown to most people. Well, rest in peace, Charlie. You had your beef with Ted, but in the end, Ted always wins. Thunder buddies for life. This year, I've challenged myself to upload every month, or else I would have to kiss this Carmen plush on camera, revealing my face in the process. But since I did upload this month, I get to deck this boy in the face with this old ass orange. And since I'm going to be the next Mr. Beast, I promise Carmen 10,000 burritos if he can survive my inescapable curve. And if Carmen wins, this will be sure to set him up for life in terms of... Okay, here we go.
Bruh.
Wait, I don't even have enough money to buy one burrito. I'm not sorry. What the? I'm sorry this video felt a little bit all over the place. This 11-year-old beef is very near and dear to me, and I just wanted to capture how cooked my mental state was when I first discovered this lawsuit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Ramades, and I will see you Ramalamas in the next video.
Yo, listen up, here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue like him. Inside and outside, blue is